There's a sandal on the dock, pink, small, still wet. I swear that image just froze me for a second. Next to it, a folded note pinned by a stone, 3 words. She waited all summer. He kneels, not for mercy, not for show, just to place it down. Behind him, a golf cart hums. A phone is raised. No one speaks. But a ticket is issued, $500, trespassing. The man doesn't look back. The camera doesn't stop. And the others? They just watched, like they always did. But this time, the lake remembered. The dock creaks once, then nothing. No wind, no voices. Only the slow retreat of a shoe on old timber. Someone stepping back. A woman in a beige raincoat lowers her phone. She doesn't stop filming, just lowers it. Her eyes shift, not in judgment, in distance. Like she wants to look away, but knows she shouldn't. Behind the HOA cart, a boy whispers something to his mom. She pulls him closer, fast, too fast. Across the lake, a CCTV light blinks once, then turns away. And yet, the father still kneels, looking not at the fine, but at the empty water. The lake stays still, but his hands are not new to this weight. It was a Tuesday. Light from a hospital vending machine flickered across the floor. He sat there, tie loose, 2 coffee cups untouched. Next to him, a pink lunchbox unopened. Inside, a note in childish handwriting. "Hope the fish are biting, Dad." The nurse called his name. He didn't move, not then, not for a while. Now, his thumb brushes the sandal on the dock. Same hand, same silence. But this time, the water is watching back. The sandal stayed where he placed it, but the light had turned colder. A phone clicked behind him, then another. No words, just that hush, that modern kind of judgment, quiet, but recorded. Someone whispered. Someone else sighed, too loudly. A woman shook her head, not at him, but at what she thought he was. He didn't look up, didn't flinch. But a boy, maybe 10, tugged at his mom's sleeve. "Why is he kneeling?" No reply, only the hum of a golf cart approaching, and the slow creak of its brakes, as if even the machine hesitated to interrupt. The hush hadn't lifted. Even the breeze held its breath. Sunlight, once amber, now slanted pale and unforgiving. As he shifted slightly, just slightly, the edge of his shirt lifted. A cord slipped free from beneath the fabric. Black, frayed. At the end, a faded badge, old, bent, turned upside down. No one saw it. Not the phones, not the size, not the boy still staring. Only the light caught it, like it remembered what the crowd had forgotten. But no one asked why he kept the badge upside down, not even the man in the Hawaiian shirt. The badge still hung, upside down, unnoticed, but the silence around it began to itch. Sometimes a scene like that lingers, not because it's loud, but because it feels familiar. Maybe you've been there too, watching something wrong, unsure if you should speak. If a part of you stirred just now, leave a word below. We notice the quiet ones here. A phone slipped, not dropped, just lowered. Another followed. Then someone whispered, too soft to catch, but it pulled every gaze sideways. Then a woman stepped forward. Late 30s, tan jacket, firm hands. No badge, but the air made space for her. She didn't ask. She didn't shout. She just pointed at him and said, "Do you think this is about your daughter?" No one moved. Not him. Not the man in the Hawaiian shirt. But his breath changed. So did the tilt of his shoulders. Barely. A flicker of pain crossed his brow. Not rage, not defense, just recognition. One boy in the crowd looked up to his mom. She turned away. The woman repeated, colder now. She's not the only child who uses this dock. And somewhere, behind them, a camera clicked. But no one claimed it. He didn't move, didn't speak. But as the woman's words faded, a breeze picked up. It caught the edge of his jacket, lifted it, just enough to reveal a folded photo, taped inside his coat, yellowed, soft at the corners. A little girl in uniform, standing beside a dog, tongue out, metal hanging from its neck. Someone in the crowd gasped, Not loudly, not everyone heard. But one man, older, stepped back. The guard lowered his hand slowly. Gloved fingers brushed over the photo. He didn't press it down, didn't hide it. He just let it be seen, then turned his eyes forward again. Unmoving, unjustified, but unmistakably human. No one asked, no one dared, but the camera shook ever so slightly in the boy's hand, and for a moment, not long, the doc was quiet again. He never needed to win, only to hold the line. One girl wiped her eye, another stepped forward, but her mother pulled her back, and then his breath faltered, just once. The dock faded, and the sound of water became the hum of chopper blades. A hallway, white, too quiet. His boots, still muddy from the field, clicking against sterile tile, echoing down to a room that no longer beat. Inside, a soldier younger than him, eyes open, chest still, dog tags in one hand, the leash of a fallen dog in the other. No alarms, no rush, just silence. And a medal, spinning until it stopped. He had shouted once. It didn't bring anyone back. A leaf rolled across the dock. No one moved, not after that. The air trembled with something unspoken, not fear, not guilt, something deeper. He exhaled. Once. Then, his hand moved, slowly, deliberately. Fingers reached for the badge still clinging to his chest, the one no one had asked about. He unclipped it, gently, as if it still held the weight of a promise, and then he knelt, placed it flat, on the dock's weathered wood. Not thrown, not offered, just left. Silence cracked. One teenager lowered his phone. A mother touched her son's shoulder, as if to stop him from asking. Somewhere behind, a man removed his hat. The wind held its breath. And for a moment, truth didn't need permission. It stood, tall and trembling, in a single act of dignity. He gave back what they tried to use against him, and walked away with everything they'd lost. The wind had not resumed. The dust in the air had not yet found the ground. Phones hung in still hands, but the screens were dark now. No one was recording, no words, no footsteps, just that silence. The kind that speaks after truth that has stood still. A boy stared at his shoelaces, as if tying them could undo what he'd just seen. An old man lowered his cap, not out of reverence but regret. A mother touched her daughter's back. The child clung tighter, but did not speak. One woman, from the edge of the crowd, stepped forward, not to film, not to question, just to stand beside him, not facing him, not looking, just choosing proximity over distance. No agreement, no apology. But something changed when she didn't walk away. And for the first time, he wasn't alone in the silence he chose. The air had not shifted since he lowered his eyes. The woman beside him, still there. Though she said nothing. Though she never touched him. A child, near the front, clutched an empty juice carton like it meant something. She didn't blink, just watched, as if learning what grown-ups forgot. And on the ground, where his feet once stood, only the imprint of stillness remained. 2 quiet marks in the dust, unmoving, unreplaced. Someone sniffled, not from tears, but from the shame of seeing too late. No applause, no judgment, only the settling of something deeper. And then, the breeze returned, just enough to lift one loose corner of his old ID badge, where it still lay face down. Or, maybe, truth doesn't vanish when you walk away. It just waits. In the silence you pretend not to hear, the child still stood there, holding nothing, but seeing everything. And the shadow on the ground, where he once stood, remained untouched, as if the earth itself was not yet ready to forget. They say silence is easy, but have you ever tried to remain still while the world pointed its finger, shouted names, twisted truths? There's a kind of defiance that doesn't need a raised voice or clenched fists, just the courage to stay upright when everyone walks away. Sometimes the deepest resistance is a bowed head, quiet as a storm that never needed thunder. We call them weak, those who don't shout back, those who don't strike when struck. But maybe, just maybe, the loudest ones are the most afraid, and the ones who stand alone without defense, without anger, without explanation. They are not asking to be understood. They are asking us to look again, at them, at ourselves, at a world so quick to film and so slow to feel. And perhaps the cruelest part is that we still call people like him the coward.